Minecraft 1.20 is fast approaching, so what might we see added next? That's what we're exploring today, so let's do it. And be sure you let me know in the comments what feature you'd like to see added the most. And at 10, bundles. A bundle is a storage item that can be used for managing items within a player's inventory, and allows for a combination of multiple items within a single inventory slot. Bundles were revealed at Minecraft Live 2020, where hovering over them showed all of the items inside, then they were kind of scattered around a large area because they weren't complete, and then incomplete bundles had an empty texture. However, while originally meant to be included in the Caves and Cliffs update, the bundles were not included in either part of that update. And then, when the Wild update came around, they were once again forgotten. But they may be coming in 1.20, since when enabling the data pack that adds the 1.20 features, you can also add an optional bundles data pack, meaning that they're experimenting with the feature once again, possibly to include it. And considering how at Minecraft Live, Mojang said that they were only going to announce features that were late in the development process, we may see these items be announced whenever we get the next snapshot, which I'm pretty sure has already happened, and I haven't had the chance to check it out yet, so if it's out of date, that would be why. Also, remember to subscribe if you haven't yet, alright? It really helps us out. And at 9, Oasis biome. Minecraft's deserts are, well, deserted. A desert pyramid, otherwise called a desert temple, is a sandstone structure that's sometimes generated within deserts. There's a hidden section that has some loot, and it's protected by a TNT trap, but being introduced in version 1.3.1, nothing has really been added to deserts since. I'm not kidding. This is the update that added the first version of villager trading, that added emeralds, the better creative menu, and adventure mode. 1.3.1 was released on August 1st, 2012, and since then, deserts haven't been touched. It's been over 10 years for these dry guys, and while yes, deserts are meant to be, well, barren deserts, this update seems to be focused on the middle child of biomes, okay? So why not add an oasis sub-biome just for that little extra bit of life, you know? Like, I go to a desert to find a cactus, maybe a temple, the odd village, or maybe a dungeon whose sand collapsed in on itself, and then I'm gone. The only other reason that you go to a desert is to get a large quantity of sand, but that's only really if you're making a giant build on an SMP. And an oasis sub-biome, like variations of the jungle, could be very pleasing, even if it's just considered a generated structure, okay? It would also be an interesting way to introduce a place for the illusioner to spawn naturally, since they can't yet, since you could consider it a mirage or an illusion. And at 8, Moo Bloom. On September 27, 2020, it was announced that a mob vote would take place during Minecraft Live of that year on October 3rd at 12 PM Eastern Time. The Moo Bloom was one of 3 mobs in that vote, but in what is possibly the most disappointing moment in Minecraft history, it was eliminated. They would have spawned in Flower Forest and interacted with bees in some way, but it is very unlikely that the buttercup flower that was supposed to be added along with it would make it into the game, just like the Moo Bloom, right? Well, what if I told you that with the sniffer getting added, we might get the Moo Bloom too? Mojang has said in the past that they might add mobs that weren't added in previous mob votes if they fit the theme of the update. And with the sniffer being an ancient mob that's seemingly coming back from extinction, and the sniffer's love for seeds, I think the Moo Bloom and the buttercup flower are actually possibly in the running for this update. Considering how the Moo Bloom wasn't added in favor of the goddamn glow squid, I think that the Justice for Moo Bloom movement needs to come back, because the glow squid is stupid, especially when we could have made cows the gods of Minecraft, able to adapt to different biomes. Yes, I'm still salty. And it's 7, custom mobs. Okay, so this is a bit of a stretch, but Minecraft also announced in Minecraft Live the ability to create your own custom mobs with Blockbench. Blockbench is a low polygon modeling tool, and I'm pretty sure is the program that's now used by Mojang to make the models for mobs and possibly blocks too. The GOAT was actually one of the first vanilla mobs to be created with Blockbench. Blockbench puts all the tools at your own disposal to make the creation process of low poly models as easy as possible. Using this tool, you're able to either modify the model of an existing mob or create an entirely new one from scratch, and then import behaviors from already existing mobs and then put them into the game with data packs. In the showcase video, Dan TDM ended up making a banana with the most soul-sucking face I have ever seen, and not in the good way, and then he could have given it the AI of literally any mob. I'm pretty sure he gave it the AI of a sheep, but it could have been a creeper, it could have been a spider, it could have been the freaking wither, okay? So I think that this tool and the ability to do this, while not an official feature per se, is definitely going to be really cool, and I feel like it should be expanded upon and maybe making custom AIs. I don't know, it's gonna make some great content, it's gonna be funny. And at 6, Jungle Village. Villages are a fairly common thing in Minecraft. However, while you may find villages around in most biomes, you will never find a village in a swamp or a jungle biome, even though there are textures specifically for jungle and swamp biome villagers. Villages can't generate in these biomes naturally unless they spawn in a biome next to one of them, like if they spawn in a plains next to a jungle. But given the addition of bamboo as a functional wood in the coming update, being able to have jungle villages could actually be possible. Each village uses the wood type found in their area. Snowy villages use spruce wood, plains uses oak, savanna uses acacia, desert villages don't use any. You get the idea. So, with bamboo being a proper block now, there is actually a type of wood that jungle villages can use that isn't so goddamn fugly that like normal jungle planks, okay? Jungle wood literally looks rotten. That could explain why there's no villages in jungles. It would probably spawn in the sparse jungle biome or something similar, you know, one that isn't as packed with trees, but I'd also enjoy the possibility of like maybe a village of tree houses. And that'd be cool. I think that'd be fun. They won't do it though. Halfway through into number 5, Fletching Table. The Fletching Table was introduced in the 1.14 Village and Pillage update. However, it has never had a functionality beyond turning villagers into fletchers. But could we possibly see the Fletching Table get an actual use in 1.20? God damn it, I hope so. The Fletching Table could be used to make more arrows than normal. Normally you make 4 arrows with each recipe, so maybe with this you could make 6 if you have a Fletching Table. I don't know, it gives it an added bonus, but doesn't also really make things overpowered, especially considering how you can make a skeleton farm and get infinite arrows. Or maybe you can get different kinds of arrows if you're using a Fletching Table, okay? Maybe like wooden, iron, or gold arrows could be a thing, which could be cool. I don't know, just something that actually makes the Fletching Table useful instead of just a block for villagers. Please. And at 4, combat tests. Now, Minecraft Bedrock Edition never actually got a proper combat update. They got all the 1.9 stuff, like elytra, shields, tipped arrows, but they didn't actually get the mechanics that changed combat. You can still spam click and you'll end up doing the same amount of damage every hit, like how combat worked prior to 1.9 in Java. But what I would personally like to see is some of the combat test mechanics in the combat snapshots. Axe enchantments specific to combat is one thing in particular that I saw that I think is a great idea. The cleaving enchantment would be really cool. Weapon reach could also certainly be interesting, although I don't really know how that would work since technically, given the pixel measurements, all the weapons are the same length. A shield indicator icon that lets you know when your shield is working. Arm fatigue with arrows would be an interesting feature. It would ruin snipers a little bit, but I feel like that's a good thing. And an increased attack speed would also be nice for axes, but it would also result in them getting kind of nerfed. They'd only do half a heart more damage than swords, which basically makes them useless unless you're fighting against a shield user. But I'd also like 1 durability loss instead of 2, because that's been annoying. But a couple of these features would be cool at least, okay? As long as it's not crouch to block, because I hate that with my entire being. Getting close to the end into number 3, Vultures. Now, this isn't a confirmed feature, but in the Minecraft Biome Vote of 2019, we saw a new savanna concept that showcased multiple things like tumbleweeds, new cacti, and a vulture mob. That, in a way, it's kind of like the evil twin to the allay, mechanic-wise at least, since the vulture would take items like the allay does, but they wouldn't give it back. Vultures, since they are also a desert-themed mob, could result in the animal being added in 1.20, like I said with the Moo Bloom. I think it would be awesome, and definitely would fit the desert theme, not to mention that they could also use this as a way to possibly locate structures. With a couple of tweaks, the vulture could change from a mob that takes items to a mob that circles above structures in desert biomes, like the desert temple for instance, since there is rotten flesh commonly in those chests, and vultures are scavengers. I don't know, it would be a cool and new way to liven up deserts, plus it's a burb, okay? I like burbs. I'd also like to be able to befriend them and have a pet one, since you can have a pet vulture, and we can't really tame bats, and parrots are a whole other problem, alright? Fun. Penultimately, into number 2, new weapons. Last time Minecraft got new weapons was 1.16. However, those weren't really technically new, since you had to add the ingots into pre-made diamond weapons. But a new type of weapon would be really interesting, with a possible focus being on ancient Minecraft items, since the sniffer is an ancient mob. And along with possibly ancient plants, this could be cool. Some ancient weapons could be awesome, and it would be like a really fun addition, okay? Because recently, YouTube has been really interested with the lore of Minecraft, and with what Matt Pat calls the ancient builders, the civilization of basically Steves that had to have built all the structures we see in the world. So possibly these ancestors could have left some weapons that got buried and lost over time. They could be made of the same material that the end portal is made of, the stuff that frames the eye, like the green stuff, not the actual end stone, because an end stone sword would be kind of lame in the grand scheme of things if we're being honest. But some cool under-themed tools that would be extremely rare would be absolutely insane and really something to get fans talking, especially after how the last few updates were received. You kind of need something good here. And finally, in at number 1, archeology. Archeology was an intended feature in the 1.17 Caves and Cliffs update that was going to allow players to find items with a copper or a weathered coppered brush by using it on sand, gravel, and dirt, possibly other blocks found in a new structure, the archeology site. Probably only blocks naturally generated in these structures would be brushable, so you couldn't just go through a whole desert with one, but possible items found within these blocks would be diamond blocks, emerald blocks, and ceramic shards of any color. The feature was not released along with any of the 1.17, 1.18, or 1.19 features, despite being one of the most interesting ideas that was announced for the update. And with this theme seemingly being the desert and the jungle, archeology seems like a very possible addition, and honestly, I hope it gets added in. I was disappointed to see it be left out of Caves and Cliffs, and then the Wild update, so the ability to brush away some sand blocks within a desert structure and then find a diamond block or maybe even the ancient weapons would be awesome. I want that so bad. What do you think? Do you want to see archeology in the 1.20 update? Be sure you let me know in the comments. And by the way, if you want to see everything that's already been confirmed, click on the video that's about to pop up on your screen. Thanks for watching.